Good? We're good to go? Okay. Hello, and welcome back to Poppin' Bubbles podcast. We're here today in Utrecht at the National Exposition 2023. I'm your host, Lisa.
I'm Stefan, and we're having some short conversations with some of the people that are walking around here today. So, who do we have first?
Yes, my name is Frans Vereijken, and I'm a cooperative values officer within Rabobank, and that needs a short explanation. I'm responsible for people who don't behave according to our behavioral values, cooperative values. Think about sexual harassment, fraud, financial integrity, etc.
Interesting. And who do we have here?
Hi, we're Georgie and Mia. We're from Emperiod, which is a Enactus team from the University College of Utrecht. Emperiod is a social impact business which focuses on period poverty, and we have three main focuses at the moment, which is alleviating period poverty, developing sustainable menstruation pads, and raising awareness and educating people on the issue of period poverty.
Yeah, so basically kind of this year our main focus has been on our sustainable period pad. Right now it's 100% sustainable. It's made out of secondhand dead stock material. And basically we donate a percentage of our profit to organizations in Utrecht and the surrounding areas that work to alleviate period poverty.
Cool. Very cool. I mean, there's so many cool projects here today.
Yeah, we spoke to a few, so it's been like a joy to learn about every single project. And also, of course, we've been preparing, so we also read a few things, so that's incredible what you do.
Frans, how are you finding it here today?
Well, today I find it very interesting, just what you shared, to see all those younger minds, well, younger than me at least, with creative ideas and coming up with nice solutions in a sustainable context. And I always get a lot of energy from that.
Yeah, same. Honestly, really.
I don't know. I feel I came here, I was really, really nervous because also like my team is speaking and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen next. But after having a few conversations, I think I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed and inspired. That's the right word.
I feel like the energy really gives me energy.
Yeah. Maybe because we were running around from the,
from
the early morning, from 8 a.m.
So, Emperiod, maybe you were already talking a little bit about your project. We asked you to prepare a question for our judge here today.
Yeah. I think one question we had, because our Emperiod's been changing every year, we get new members and stuff. So this year we had kind of a whole new team. And with that, we had like a lot of changes within the project itself and different like avenues and directions that we took the project. And I think that one thing it is that kind of placed like some stress on the group a little bit. So we wanted to kind of ask the question of how to manage work burnout in a group such as like a social impact business.
Oh, wow, interesting question, because I was expecting the question based on the content of Emperiod, but I have a lot of views on it.
A bit broader.
Well, basically how I feel in general is it starts with several aspects. It starts with engagement, and engagement goes in two ways. Engagement from top to bottom and from within the team. So you need a clear mission, a clear vision, and then you have like a sort of rally around the flag principle. So if everybody says, hey, these are our principles, this is our mission, and this is what we want to achieve, then you can all rally around that idea. That's one. Secondly, you also, I feel, need open communication, and that starts with trust, and that also is part of being vulnerable. So, hey, I like this aspect, and I don't like this aspect. Hey, I feel a little bit nervous about doing this. I feel that I'm not good enough to do this. For example, those type of vulnerable comments that can really create a sort of dialogue about how you feel strong, viable, and then that can, those are for me are the baselines how to create a safe space which can prevent, or when it happens, a work-related burnout, then you can address it in a proper way. So I say a lot now from different topics, but does that answer your question a little bit, or?
Yeah, I think so. I guess one thing that especially with academics as well, because we're all students, I think one thing it would be a lot easier to have a more focus on a project. Of course, we're all passionate about it, but then we also have so much schoolwork that I think that's one thing that is you have to try and balance the two. And of course, you can't push the project maybe as much as you would have liked if you have a ton of other things that you have to do as well.
What's the difficulty in prioritizing?
I guess, one is, of course, your academics, your schooling. So that's, of course, I think even within our group, we've talked about how that is should be your main priority. Within the group, we should always be communicating if you have a lot of schoolwork or if there's something that, you know, is more pressing that should take like priority over like an organization. But then of course we really enjoy the project and we do want it to go far. So it's kind of hard that if you have like all this schoolwork, but then you do want to like have time to push the project forward.
Yeah, it's like you said, like rallying around a flag, like we are all passionate about it. So then we will do our best to put the energy into the project. But sometimes academics get in the way, which sometimes, relates more into a burnout area where you feel a little bit less comfortable.
And is that related to the workload, or is that also related to other aspects? As in my experience in general is that when people go towards burnout, yes, it has partly to do with the job, but it also has to do that people's buttons have been pushed for very long. That can be at home, the kids, can be other aspects. So yes, it then takes its shape and form in the academics and in prioritization, but mostly it's not a singular aspect that impacted that. So that's why I always invite people to talk and share about, hey, what's going on in your life? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. I mean, I think from one of our episodes that we did on mental health and well-being in teams, I feel like we've been trying to incorporate some of what we learned there. Like it really feels like when we're sitting down to have a team meeting, that it's kind of like a safe space to share whatever. And for me, because I work full time, I go into there and like I don't feel like I need to leave all my baggage outside of the door. Of course, there's a bit of a fine line because you don't want to like dump on people.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to know that your team is very receptive of you, like addressing when your buttons are being pushed or other factors. And that makes it really, really good. I mean, but you guys kind of say that you already have that, don't you?
Yeah, I think we're very lucky with our team. Like, we have good communication with our team. We know when to, like, signify, like, oh, our exams are coming up. Let's take a small step back from the project. So, yeah, I think our team is doing very well in that aspect at the moment. But it's just something we want to know how you would suggest managing it as well. Yeah.
Unfortunately, our time is up. These are very I mean, we could have 2 hours of a discussion. I'm super interested how Rabobank deals with this. And we would love to continue the conversation, maybe in a future episode. Who knows?
Yeah.
But for now, this was our short discussion on the Popping Bubbles podcast at the National Exposition here in the Jaarbeurs in Utrecht. Thank you, Frans. Thank you, Emperiod.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
very
much.
much.
Thank you so much for being here on our podcast, and have a nice rest of the day. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.